Hello everyone, welcome to Elite8 YouTube channel. This is Official Hand speaking. I'm the carry and the CEO of Elite8 Esports. In this video, I'll be talking in English language because I already did the Indonesian version of this video. In this video, I'll be talking about the best hero in every role for patch 3.2. We also will be talking about the best builds of each hero and each role, and then I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you guys have any suggestion or advice in what I can do better for the upcoming videos, please comment down below and don't forget to subscribe. Without any further ado, we're just gonna start to the main course. The first role that I will talking about is the tanker role. In the term tanker means the roamer. Okay, as you can see, I have divided the role and tier list in 3 categories. The first one is top global. Top global means the strongest among all, and top local is the mid one, and top kampong means the least favorite one. Okay, so I'm just gonna start from Arden. Arden is one of the best tanker or roamer in since patch 3.0, since 5v5 came out, because he just can use his A ability with Vanguard to boost your ally, and then you also have your gauntlet to just use that for the crowd control. And then you have Lance. Lance got buffed in this patch, and I think it's he's very good because they buff up his health, and then the cooldown reduction for Miss Impulse has been reduced, and then I think he's very good in the current meta. You just can you can use his Gideon Wall and Impulse to win team fights, and also in the early game he just can stun enemies and just gang up every lanes. And moving to Lyra. I think Lyra is very good in this patch because of his healing ability. Vision is one of the most important aspects of playing 5v5, and playing Lyra, because she has the A ability to heal their teammates in the early phase of the game. Playing Lyra doesn't require to buy a fountain for the first item. You just can buy the Super Scout 2000. So you have that early game vision advantage, so that you can control the rotations, the enemy's rotation. You also can deward. The term deward means destroying the enemy's scout camps. You can just deward the enemy camp so that they don't have the vision, and also you can just heal up your friends before enemy can have fountains. You can check out the builds for Lyra here. Okay, as you can see, here are the builds for Lyra from Elite8. You can buy scout camps first, and then you can build a Crucible for the early game control blocking, and you can the A ability also proc with the healing, the health from Crucible, and then you have Fountain to heal up your teammates, and then you have Echo so that you can spam the A ability and ultimate. Then we're going to move on to top local, the mid one. Here we have Tony. Yeah, Tony is one of the best tanker in 3.1 because he just can spam his ability and just wreak havoc in the team fights because of his taunt and then A ability. I also like Churn Walker. It's very good if you have Churn Walker in your team. The reason why I don't put Churn Walker in the top global category is because Churn Walker is very hard to play, and I don't and it requires a lot of teamwork and decisions making that that is very hard for average players to play. And Chunwalker only works with works against several team comps. Like if your enemy is, they have a lot of melees, and Chunwalker is the best pickup. And then if the enemy is range heroes, I don't think it's very good idea, because they just can outpoke and outrange Chunwalker. Then you have Fortress, and then you have Dajo. Okay, then we move on to the top kampung, and then you have Finn, and then Flicka, and then Lorelei. The reason why I put them in the top kampung part is because Finn has very slow movement speed. He cannot roam around the map and help your teammates to gang up, and Force Accord doesn't really need it in 5v5, because in 5v5 the team fights are basically about kiting and not ganking. Yep. Then Lorelei with only his her ultimate. I think there are some tanker that have a better ability, and Lorelei doesn't. And Lorelei cannot tank for your teammates, and that's the reasons why I chose Finn and Lorelei in the top kampung part. And then we move into the offlaner. The terms offlaner is the top laner in our term, and for C players, offlaner often used for melee heroes, and they are usually semi-tank or semi-support to help the teammates in team fights. And the purpose of offlaner is to not let the enemy carry, which is the bot lane, to constantly put pressure in your lane, because you need to be tanky, and you just can give that pressure, giving that ability to gank them, and giving the ability to not let them invade your jungles and just roaming around freely and getting those golds. The first hero that I'll be talking about is Glyph in the top global part. The reasons why I choose Glyph in the top global part is because Glyph is just one hero that can easily apply pressure to the enemy bot laner, because Glyph have the A ability that can just make the enemy think that my enemy, this is the enemy thing that they just can gank the bot laner, and I just don't want to overextend and just don't want to invade the jungle, because he just can roam around and gank me up. And then Glyph also have the ability to go in deep to the enemy jungle and just try to steal enemy jungle and escape using his A ability. As you can see, here are the builds for Glyph. I like to play Glyph semi-tank in the top lane, so I usually build a banner in the early game. Then I'll be building defense for the enemy bot lane. If the enemy is crystal power, I'll be buying Aegis. If the enemy is weapon carry, then I'll be building what's that called, the metal jacket, and then I'll be building Shiver Steel for the crowd control, then spell sword and eco, so that I just have the ability to just gank the enemy. Alright, then we move on to Grace. I like Grace so much because Grace can help your teammates in team fights in the mid to late game. Yeah, because Grace have the ability to heal, to use her ultimate skill to heal your carries, or just to help you guys win the team fights and help your carry to have that sustain. Also, Grace is very tanky in the early game on her heroic perk. Then that's one of the reasons why I like Grace, and then why I put her in the top global part. And then we have Tony. The reasons why I picked Tony in the top lane part is because Tony have the ability, Tony with his second ability, he just can, if the enemy is too aggressive or overextend, he can just poke the enemy out and use taunt when they are trying to escape, so that the turret can just apply damage to them. Also, he have Bada Boom to help in the late game team fights, and also since Tony got a little bit nerf in this patch for his damage, so I believe it's better if we put Tony in the top lane part, or instead of jungle. Tony is very good in the tank role as well. Then we can move to top local, and we have Samuel, the range hero for top lane, and then we have Catherine, then Gramjo. And then why I put Gramjo in the top local is because Gramjo got nerfed in the early game. I mean the damage, and Stormcrown got nerfed, and then the aftershock also got nerfed. So I believe Gramjo cannot apply as much damage as Glaive, Grace, or Tony. And Glaive and Tony can just apply more pressure. Also we have Baptiste, weapon power Baptiste, and then you have Joel's if you have if the enemy objective is in top lane, I mean Ghostwing, you can just 1v1 Ghostwing. But Glaive and Grace can also 1v1 Ghostwing if you have enough damage and Stormcrown. So probably around 10 minutes, 12 minutes you can just solo Ghostwing. So we have Top Kampung, Taka, the only hero that got nerfed everything. Then you have Rhyme, Reza, and Alpha. So basically that's what our opinion on offlaner. And if you have any other suggestion of any opinion on the offlaner part, you can just comment down below. So we're gonna move on to the third part, which is the mid laner. Yeah, mid laner is very hard because there's a lot of aspects in mid laner. So as you can see in the top global part, you have we have Celeste, and then we have Adagio, and we have Malin. So I think you guys can agree with me in patch 3.2, Celeste is very strong. She's just not in top global, I mean she's the top universe, the best of the best. First of all, the first reason is her counters, enemy counters, builds and stuff like that got nerfed. So like for example the best counter to Celeste is probably Taka. Yeah, Taka got nerfed, so Taka cannot be that tanky anymore. Taka cannot just go dive and get out easily, and Taka requires more crystal powered items to build up to apply damage. Then we have Stormcrown and Aftershock that got nerfed, which is not Celeste builds. And also Gramjo is also one of the best counter to Celeste, and Gramjo also got nerfed in patch 3.2. This is why Celeste is very strong in 3.2, because only limited heroes that can counter her. So she can just put up all the damage and stay away from the fight, you know. And Solar Storm, which is Celeste, is very strong. Then we have Adagio. I like Adagio very much, so because he can heal himself up by himself. Then he's the burst type damage, which is he can just heal his teammates and gank the enemy lanes. And Adagio also have one of the longest range for carry, and also with his ultimate can apply pressure, I mean can put up CC damage to enemy for the late game team fights. Then we have the new hero Malin. I like Merlin very much because Merlin is the only hero in Vainglory that has 5 skills. The first, light form, then the dark form, the B ability that have light and dark form as well, and the ultimate that made her turn into both of the forms. I have tested a lot of Merlin builds, and I believe that the best Merlin builds are as follow. Okay, as you can see, the Merlin, I chose Aftershock, Dragon's Air, and Broken Myth for the 3 core item for Merlin. I tried a lot of times, and I think Aftershock is very good on Merlin because the ultimate can proc with Aftershock, so she can just spam her ultimate, and the Aftershock can just you can just use the Aftershock proc so much. And she also have the ability to escape using her dark form B ability, and also her first light form ability is very good to root the enemies. I think Merlin is very good in patch 3.2. So we're going to move on to the top local part. So as you can see, there are Scarf. I believe Scarf is still strong in patch 3.2, but I don't think she's as strong as Celeste, Merlin, or Tadjo. She cannot just burn down enemy turrets as much as in 3.1, but she's in patch 3.2. She's more like the skill shot heroes. Yeah, you need to land her A and B ability at the same time to apply a lot of damage. And then we have Faria, and Faria is going up to the getting back to the meta. Then CP Idris is quite strong as well, and there's a new build in for CP Idris. You can just buy Shiva Steel, and no, not Shiva Steel, Poison Shiv, and buy a level 12 weapon infusion, and you're going to have 2 perk at once. So we have Sky, Crystal Powered Sky, and then we have Ringo as well. Ringo, Crystal Powered Ringo, so you can just poke from behind, and you just can out poke enemy in the lane. Then we have Samuel, Gwen, Kestrel, Saw, and Fox. I don't like Fox, Kestrel, and Gwen in the top mid lane because I think they're much better in the bottom lane. That's why I put them in top kampung, but I think they're still they are still viable in the mid lane, but they're just too easy to gank because mid lane is one of the lane that is very easy to gank from 2 sides, so that's why I put them in top kampung part. So next we're going to move on to the 4th category, I believe, yeah, which is the jungler category. So as you can see in the top global part, we have Tony, Koshka, and Kroll. We like to play Tony. We like to play melee heroes in the jungle just because they can just gank enemy lanes and then roaming around. The reason why I picked Tony, Koshka, and Kroll is because Sovereign Rise is very huge. I mean, the map is very huge, very big, and it's so much easier for jungler to roam around from lane to lane, from top to the bottom, and then back, and to invade jungles if they have the ability to move around very fast. Like Tony with his ability, he can just move around so fast. And then Koshka as well with her heroic perk, and then Kroll also with his her heroic perk. That's one of the reasons why I just chose these 3 in the top lane. But I think Merlin is also good in for jungle, but I didn't put her in this picture. We are going to talk about Tony's build in a few seconds, and in patch 3.2, Tony got a little bit nerfed for his damage, so he cannot just apply so much pressure in the early game and also in the late game. So this is why I chose this build. As you can see, it's going up in a few seconds. Okay, so the first item for Tony is Thorough Blade, and then the second item is Silver Steel, and then Breaking Point. But it requires a lot of defense after Breaking Point or before Breaking Point, because Tony is very squishy and he's the front line of the team. If you guys going to gang lanes and have a good team fight, and Silver Steel can just help you to keep Tony close to the enemies, and Thorough Blade is just to apply a little bit of damage. Okay, so we move on to top local part. Yeah, you can see Alpha, and you can see Petal, Castrol, Fortress, Baptiste, and Gramjo. One of the reasons why I put all of these in the top local part, because I don't they are not that they don't have the ability to roam around easily. I mean, they can roam around easily, but they cannot apply a lot of pressure because most of them don't have CC ability. And for example, we have Alpha. You can just farm around your own jungle, and if you have the ability to, I mean, Alpha doesn't have the ability to escape if she's in trouble. When Alpha invade enemy jungle and he got caught up, she cannot just escape that easily. And we have Gramjo. Gramjo have the ability to escape, but I don't think Gramjo have the damage to just go into enemy's lane and then kill the enemy. But I think Alpha is also is one of the best jungler right now. And we have Petal. I believe Petal got buffed in patch 3.2, but I don't think she's in the top global part yet, because she doesn't have the ability to gang, and she doesn't have CC except the A ability that can pop, can bomb. Yeah. So we move on to the next category, the last category, which is I think it's bot lane. Okay, as you can see, also there are 3 heroes that I think is very strong in the bot lane, which is Fox, Glaive, and Rona. And I'll be talking about each one of these heroes. Fox is also very strong in patch 3.0 and 3.1 for 5v5. Fox just has that ability to just be sustainable and just dodging around, and then he also have the ability to just mess around in the team fight, and you just cannot kill a Fox that easily in the late game. And also he can apply a lot of damage with only on 3 damage only 3 core damage items. I like to play Fox using Poison Sieve and then Breaking Point. Only that 2 items can deal a lot of damage already. Then we have Glaive. I like Glaive so much in the bot lane because Glaive have the ability to just escape and then and split pushing alone, especially when Glaive have the, if you build Suprema's Breaking Point or Thorough Blade Breaking Point. Yeah, it's very good for Glaive, I believe. You can just split push in the bot lane, and also we have Rona. Rona have the ability to just escape, even though she got nerfed in 3.2, but I think she just have that ability to apply a lot of pressure, and then can easily take down turrets, especially if she's on the critical builds, but she's just not that tanky for that. Also, there are other several heroes that I think is good in the bot lane, like Castrol, but I like to play we like to play tanky, semi-tanky bot lane as well. as long as they can apply a lot of pressure. So we're just going to talk about the Vona build that I think is very good in patch 3.2. As you can see, I don't build breaking points in this build, so I have a Supermass, Sorrow Blade, and Shiver Seal. These 3 core items for Vona is she have the ability to burst down enemy carries or enemy jungles, and also she can apply pressure in the turrets. She just, with this build, she can just take down turrets a lot faster. Shiver Seal have the attack speed now, so you don't need breaking points or other attack speed items. If the enemy is a lot tankier, they don't have a lot of squishy carries, you can buy breaking points and switch it with Sorrow Blade. Also, you need a lot of defense for melee heroes. And we have, if we're going to move on to the top locker part, you can see Castro and Sky, Bingo, Baron, and Alpha. The reason why I don't choose these 3 heroes is probably because I mean not 3 heroes, all these heroes. For example, Castro, he's very easy to get ganked, and if the enemy decided to rotate a lot in the bottom lane, you cannot just apply pressure that well, and if Castro cannot escape that well. So we have Ringo. Ringo doesn't have the ability to escape that well. And we have Black Feather. I like Black Feather a lot too, but I don't think he's as good as Glaive and Rona, and the enemy just can gank BF a lot. Also, we have Baron. I don't like Baron in 5v5 because Baron is one of the squishiest hero, and he requires 4 damage item, meaning that he's not that tanky, and enemy can just gank Baron a lot. Then we're going to move to Adagio, to top kampong. We have Adagio, Bethel, Saw, and Gwen. These top kampong heroes, I like to play it in other lanes or in other roles, and there are the reasons why I don't choose them in the top local or top global. Okay guys, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and like for this video. If you guys have any advice or anything, you guys can just comment down below. I'm sorry if my English is too bad. I will try to improve it in the future. Thanks for watching.